Okay, so we're back working on the 6-wheel drive Land Rover Parenti ambulance, and today we're doing battery stuff. If you're new to the channel, I have 2 of these. I also have an 8-wheel drive amphibious ATV, but we'll get to that another day. Now this is a continuation of a video I did previously. The link will be below. Basically what happened, I was in the field and one of these AGM batteries that's about 3.5 years old dropped a cell, and so when we eventually got it out and got it load tested at some good friends of mine at the electronic barn, there's a link below to them, they load tested it and ended up figuring out that it's really only load testing to about 8 volts. That's well below what it should. To give you some perspective, this is a 12 volt starting, 24 volt accessory system. There are 2 alternators. Let's have a look at that. Alright, this is our deep cycle cranking battery, and for the 12 volt system, this is our 12 volt alternator, and because it's a diesel we have a vacuum pump on it. And this is our 24 volt alternator. It's a fixed stator, so the excitation coil and the stator coil are both on the outer, and this is just a laminated steel core with 2 bearings. Very reliable, but good for 100 amps, and you need some thick wire. So that's the primary means of charging. Secondary means are 2 340 watt solar panels in series, meaning 90 volts, coming down to an MPPT regulator. When we have shore power, hidden up in the back here is a Victron 16 amp smart charger. But today it's a simple job. We're going to swap over the batteries. My buddy at Electronic Barn has done me an amazing deal. I have 2 new batteries for this, and hopefully these should last a little longer. He said they've had a few of these batteries come back. They're now recommending a different brand. He's set me up with good ones. So how about we get them unpacked and start swapping batteries out. Now, we recently had 2 days of torrential rain and the air vent in here leaked, so I've had to strip the bed out and all of this stuff. And there's some rotting MDF that I've only just built to house this oven. I do have to pull the oven out and see if there's any water got in there too. In any case, this is old battery. I put the connections that I use for the trolling motor on that. I put them on this knackered battery, and I put my good trolling battery in. So it sort of helped things survive till we got home. Anyway, these 2 guys, thanks to Electronic Barn, the HVT86Ds from Superstar, are going to be the ones we put in. So let's get ourselves sorted. Okay, well I haven't really bothered to put the screws back in things yet, so we should be able to just lift this pin out and slide the whole bracket out. Here we go. Okay. Now what we need to do is turn a few things off. So for a start, inverter goes off. We're going to pull all that stuff out now. It's our mains lead for our charger. We're going to disconnect solar panels, turn them off. This is the auxiliary connection. We're going to do this one-handed here. That feeds the oven and the boiling vessel up the back. Now we need to go around to another side here. Move our wheelie bin / tripod out of the way. A number of things wheelie bins are handy for. That's the Aussie term for those bins, by the way. In the front here is a bit of chaos because we were in the field and needed urgent access. So we're going to fold our seat forward. And down here is the 24 volt distribution box. Presently we can see 26.7 volts. Flip our breaker off and drop back to 0, which is what we want. We should be mostly isolated. I think we're pretty good. Now this is a 24 to 12 volt converter. I am going to pull the fuse for the other accessories I've got in here as well, just to be sure. Okay, now we can get the spanners out and weld them to battery terminals. Now the reason I say welding things to battery terminals is quite often there's enough room to reach the shield or between terminals and whatnot with spanners. Be careful doing this. Often, if I wasn't using ratchet spanners, I would tape up this whole thing or dip them in a rubber dip-on coating. But these have got a few little chunks out of them where I've done that more than once before. I've learnt that lesson the hard way. So don't be like me, learn the lesson the easy way and take the advice I'm giving you. We're going to take the intermediate link off first. That just helps with the accidental short outs. We'll put our spanner somewhere else instead of on top of the batteries, because we're going to pizza when we French fry to or when we meant to French fry. That's a South Park quote from a long time ago.
Until we know our two primary feet positions. To go slow, we wedge our skis together in the shape of a slice of pizza. Then to go faster, we put them parallel like French fries. You see that?
Pizza, fries, fries. Pizza, fries, 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 fries. Pizza.
Okay, you see what he did? He French fried when he should have pizzaed. You French fry when you pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
Now, this is the main fuse. Under this tape is some heat shrink, as well as the main current shunt from my battery analyzer. It looks worse than it is. There's actually, it's not that bad under there. It's just that was done as an extra layer of protection. This is the thermal sensor for the solar regulator. Now let's try this bit here. Now this battery looks different. This is the good trolling battery. It's probably in better state. I'm going to check it in a minute. Get rid of all of that. Well, this can hang down out of the way. Now we've got to take these two bolts off and take the bracket out. Alright, retaining brackets off. Let's see what these batteries look like, volt-wise at least. I need to get myself an internal resistance meter one day so I can check the health of batteries better. We are reasonably confident that this battery at least is knackered. I think I was told at the battery place at Electronic Barn, when they tested it, it took 17 amps to charge the battery, which is not normal. Where is volt mode? Auto ranging DC, yep. We're at 13.1, so this one might be a little healthier than the other one was. This one's 13.38. But actually, let's do that the correct polarity. Sometimes it makes a difference to how it reads. This, I suspect if we load test the two of them, it'll be very different. Which I can do with the trolling motor. Anyway, let's get these out and swapped over. These long handles make life actually more difficult than you might think. Alright, old one out. This one's our older but still good one. Now, I might sprinkle a bit of bicarb around in the bottom here too, because there's obviously been some acid damage in here. In fact, I probably have some rust converter. I might get the air compressor and blow this out and hit it with some rust converter first. And of course, typical of the weather, it started raining the second I want to do this sort of stuff. So we might not get to the rust converter stage, but I might spray some chain oil on this just to keep the water out of it for now. This is not in a great state. So I might rip this whole thing out later on and take it down to the fabricators and then get them to put a new arse in it. Just to slow down the rustiness a bit, let's spray some chain oil in here. At least keep the water off things a little bit. These are going to be kind of difficult to lift. They have the handles in them. Spin you that way. In one box. Now these have terminal spaces on them. We'll take them off and keep them because they're bloody handy. I actually bought some of those the other day. Terminal spaces. It's always the time I decide to do this in the rain. I'm supposed to be filming a train today. I'm getting drone footage. I don't think it's going to happen with the drone. Come on, there we go. Yeah, which way does positive need to be? That way. All right, looks good. Everything's wet. Battery bracket. See if we cause a short out. Nope, they fit well. He was bang on the money with the size. I knew I was asking the right guy. We might do things a little differently with the terminals on this time. So here's our primary negative. We're going to use one of these guys on the top to start with. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with this, our primary positive. There's a reason why I want to do this. We're going to be careful because this is grounded. Although this is the negative terminal, not the end of the world in this case, but the other side we will have to be careful. Okay, I'm going to need an actual spanner for that one. Let's try over this side. Same deal. Let's get the real spanners. Way to grabbing my real spanners, and then I saw these sexy things. I thought they look like they'll do the job better than the proper tool. These are up nice and firm. Okay. Cool. Where's our link cable? Actually, I'll put our link cable on last, I think. Might be more sensible. Now this is for the auxiliary stuff that I've added later on. Now I have some contact cleaner somewhere. Give these a bit of a squirt. Now these guys want to go on this way. That makes life way easier. Yep. Now I hope these are going to fit in there properly is the next question. Where's my spanner? Flippity flippity. 14 I think was the ones using here. No, that way. Okay, there we go. Now we want on this side, I think our ground's already sorted. This is our temperature sensor. We'll give that a bit of a contact clean, not that it's an electrical contact, it's just a thermal one. There we go. So that's our temperature sensor going on there. Where's the spanner? Nope. That one. Alright. I think it's probably safe to say at this rate that drone flying is probably off the books today. But you know, it might get better, we'll find out. Now we're putting a couple of new terminal bolts on this. Just because I've got them. And I like to put new stuff in wherever possible. Hence the whole 2 new batteries thing. We didn't get any arcs. I think we've properly isolated everything. Alright, let's do things up. Then I can go and dry off for a bit. We will put this back on. That's my fuse holder that in reality should be facing a different direction. I'm going to tuck it under there for now. We'll put the screws and washers back on this later. You can go like that. This lot can push in here. There's our retaining pin. There we go. Alright, let's get out of the rain for a minute. I've had a break from the rain, it's eased up a little bit. Now in my infinite wisdom, I'm trying to keep all the rust out of here. I put the rusty brush back in here and spread loads of rust back in here. I'm going to vacuum it out with a Rover vacuum cleaner. Let's have a squeeze at me on the way out here. It's our mains lead. Let's hook up our rear module. Okay, it's hooked up. Now let's turn solar panels on. We're 25.6 presently. Wait till our solar panels come on. Right, solar panels are on. We are putting 1 amp in at the moment. We're going to rat through our spare parts here and going to find our 2 fuses. We're going to go in here and put 1 fuse back in, another fuse back in, and these 3 are spares. Put our fuse cover back on. 24 to 12 volt regulator. It's our inverter which is coming on. Now this sun has suddenly come out nice and brightly, so what does that mean for our batteries? That means about 3 amps going in. However, they've come up to 27.6, so they're probably fairly well charged. We'll put a load on that and see how it goes in a minute. For the next bit, Need to go back into the cabin here. We're at 0 volts. Let's turn our main breaker switch on. Up to 27.3. Our volt dial is working down there, analog meter. Put that back up. Okay. We're looking good. Putting about 3 amps in. I think we're going to do well. Let's turn on a fixed resistive load and see what happens. Let's do you for a bit. Turn you on. That LED sometimes doesn't work. Oh, it could be because I've disconnected all of that. Alright. Is that on? We'll find out. Let's go around here. Do we have a load on? We're pushing 10 amps in, so yes, we have a load on now. That's good. Alright. Alright. And it's sunny again. Weird weather. Okay, we might load test these old ones in another video, and we'll work them out separately, but for now we're done. So this has been a battery swap for the 24 volt side of the 6-wheel drive Land Rover Perenti ambulance. I'm not sure what else to say about this. I would hope this video is self-explanatory. In any case, if you are local to the area and you know where I'm at, then check out Electronic Barn. He's really done me a solid today. Much appreciated to him. Anyway, let's carry on and move on to the next thing that breaks down. Alright, one last thing I'm going to do. Even though we've got solar, we're going to put it on the multi-mode charger for a little bit. Beautiful. Right, we'll let that go on to an absorption charge for a little while. We should have nicely topped up batteries when we're ready to go. Unlike this GoPro that's at about 10%. So I need this probably in a few hours to go and film some trains. So I'm going to get the GoPro sorted and we'll see you in the next one. I hope it was fun. Now while I'm out filming this, the river is flooding. Somewhere up here when my autofocus works, we can see them out doing some flood assessments at the moment. Fun times. We had bushfires last week.